Hey everyone, welcome to the Hey Hannah podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Maya Fields, but to my friends and those who know me well, I'm just Maya. I'm a higher education administrator, a mother, and a wife of 14 amazing years. But above all, I'm a Christ follower. This podcast is a special platform created to honor the memory of my beloved daughter, Hannah. It's here that I have the chance to have the conversations that I never got to have with her, to share the wisdom and love I wish I could have passed on. It's a reminder to cherish the precious moments we're given and a testament to the power of healing, hope, and personal growth. If you're someone who's seeking personal growth, inspiration, and practical advice to build a solid foundation for a successful and fulfilling life, this is a place for you. Join me as we honor Hannah's memory together. Laugh, cry, and learn. Get ready for a podcast that is so much more than you could ever imagine. The Hey Hannah podcast, healing hearts, one conversation at a time. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of the Hey Hannah podcast. I'm your host, Dr. Maya, and if you're new here, we have a lot of conversations about faith, things that are really happening in our lives, grief, healing, parenting, finding purpose in the middle of life's unexpected turns. Here on Hey Hannah, we believe that God doesn't waste our stories, even the painful parts, even the confusing parts, and often the very things we survive become the places where purpose begins to grow. So today's episode is especially for the mom who's still healing, the woman who didn't plan this chapter, and anyone who feels called to something new but isn't quite sure how they got there. I'm really excited to introduce today's guest. Joining me is Ashley Donegan, a mom, entrepreneur, children's book author. She's done so many things. She describes herself simply as just a mom with a story, but her journey is very powerful. She's walked through a near-death experience, miscarriage, a spiritual awakening that ultimately led her to healing purpose in writing children's books inspired by her daughter and her own inner child healing. Ashley is also courageously stepping outside her comfort zone, overcoming fear of speaking, and sharing her story in hopes that it resonates with even one person. If so, it'll be worth it. Ashley, I'm so grateful you're here today. Welcome to the Hey Hannah podcast.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful to be here. Appreciate you speaking with me.
Absolutely. So, Ashley, to start us off, can you share a little bit about who you are and the journey that led you to where you are today?
Well, as you said, I just consider myself a mom. I'm just a regular everyday mom. I'm a small business owner. I work for myself. I've been through a lot of hard times, and yeah, it's led me on a spiritual journey, and now today I'm a children's book author along with my daughter. She inspired me down that path, and so we're just having a lot of fun going down that journey. Yeah, that's a little bit about me, I guess.
I think it's absolutely amazing that you're a children's book author. When we think about it, kind of ties in. You were saying, I'm just a mom, but I feel like as moms, we juggle so many things. Like we're literally shaping the future for our kids. We're helping to set that foundation. And so when you kind of tie that with being a children's book author, I feel like you have a special place in getting to do that because you're pouring in knowledge to the kids in a way that makes the communication understandable for them. So I think that's amazing
Thank
that you're
you.
doing that with your daughter. Highlighted briefly in the intro some of, I guess, what I would say would be pivotal moments in your life. You talk about a near death experience, miscarriage, spiritual awakening. Looking back, is there one moment that you feel like it shaped you the most as a person that you're becoming now?
That's a tough question because I wouldn't say it's any just one particular thing. It was, a sequence of events that happened and kind of a push forward from all of them. Like it built momentum towards that. Um, a little bit stubborn and I'm a little bit of a slow learner, so I think I had to have like a lot. It wasn't just like one thing. But I would say if I had to pick one, probably my car accident where I was hit by head on by a drunk driver. That really literally, like, hit me in the head and kinda was a wake up moment from God, but I didn't know it at the time, so I would say that if I had to pick one.
Something as traumatic as a car accident to that extent, it can obviously just really shake your life. You said, it was kind of a wake up call from God. How did that experience, I'm just curious more so on the faith aspect, how did it impact your faith and just your view of life and your sense of purpose at that
Yeah, looking back now, I didn't have a sense of purpose or a feeling of one. I was kind of lost at that time, and so I really got after the accident, I got really down and depressed, and I questioned, like, why me? Like, why would God pick me to go through this? Like, why was I in that exact moment in time where that drunk driver was? I could have been, like, 5 minutes later, 5 minutes earlier, like, why me? Why? And I wouldn't say, I mean, I guess it was kind of a victim mentality at the time, but I was just really hard for me to wrap my brain around, like, I'm a good person, like, why did this happen to me? And so, yes, I questioned faith a lot, but I was also very lost at that time.
I think you're really speaking of a from a place of authenticity, because I think that's a natural human emotion, like, "Why? I feel like I was, I'm doing good. How did I get to this place where I'm experiencing this traumatic thing?" So, that's very brave of you and honest of you to say kinda, "This is where I was at the moment." But later, after the car accident, you talk about the very hard loss of a miscarriage, which a lot of women just carry quietly. It's kind of like the hush thing you don't speak about, but it's a lot of pain involved in that. How did that season shape your healing journey, especially as a mother?
Oh gosh, that's tough to put into words a little bit because I always wanted to be a mom.
Yeah.
And it did not work out for me the way that I had planned, and, like they say, you make plans and God laughs because there's different plans, and so that was the case for me for sure. I wanted to be, like, married by 30 and have 3 kids. That did not happen.
Yeah.
I had my car accident, I had a divorce from a tumultuous relationship, and then I, got pregnant unexpectedly, and, it was not a planned thing, but I very much wanted to be a mother, and I also found out that I had a genetic issue
Mhm.
that makes you more prone to miscarriages and strokes and heart attacks and things, and so that's why I got off of birth control, and that's probably why I had got pregnant and then had a miscarriage, is because of that issue, but so, yeah, it was devastating. I mean, it was absolutely devastating, and it's given me great compassion now for any woman that goes through any loss of a child at whatever stage it may be. I mean, it's just my heart goes out because I've felt the pain.
Yeah. Absolutely. When you say that, it kind of reminds me of the verse with we'll overcome by the word of our testimony. And a lot of times I think we don't like we're experiencing things and the natural question is why me? But part of that overcoming is by you telling your testimony, helping someone else to be able to overcome, what they're going through. And it hit home for me, especially before I started the podcast and kind of like right after Hannah passed and kind of just like the very beginning stages of that. I was looking for, okay, let me see someone who has made it or to the other side, who is smiling or laughing or seemingly living a normal life to know, like, okay, it's possible. Like, that's what I can aim for. And I think when we talk about like these experiences happening, even if we're just able to say, have that compassion, like, I've been through that. I know where you are, but this is where I am now. Like, it gets better. There's hope. Even if you're able to just give that hope to one person, it's just so meaningful. And I think it's just like the world to them, helping them feel like all is not lost. There's still something there. So I'm glad that you said that. I think that really hits an authentic place for a lot of people.
Thank you.
Now, segueing, because I know you mentioned, like, okay, we have these experiences, and obviously it's a lot of trauma and grief that's involved there. And we feel like we talked about this a lot on the show, like grief and trauma, it really can awaken something deeper in us. Like, it's not just a coincidence experience. Like, it can really help to propel us forward into our purpose. Would you say that your spiritual journey unfolded gradually after you're thinking about these experiences, or did it come in waves through these experiences?
I would say both gradually and in waves. I mean, and it was a years process because, like I said, I'm stubborn and I'm a slow learner, and so it wasn't catching on for me for a while until I had my daughter. I did go on to have a beautiful, wonderful daughter, and then that's kind of when I was like, "Hey, now you have to show her, you have to teach her a better way." For her, because if it wasn't for her, I wouldn't probably care about myself that
Yeah.
much, and it took her to waken me up, like, after having her and becoming a mother and then everything else I had been through and the hard times, I mean, so yes, definitely, I would say gradual, but it came in waves, and then I was like, "Hey, I need to start paying attention to this."
Yeah.
So, yeah.
I love the joy that you have when speaking of her, just like the highlight on your face. Guys, if you're watching us on YouTube, then you can see the smile that Ashley has talking about her daughter that I got to be privy to. So definitely a lot of joy there. And I like to jump into, I love the fact that you are writing children's books together. I think that's so amazing.
Thank you.
Now, you shared that writing the books with your daughter was a way of really healing your inner child. Can you talk about how creativity really played a role in your healing?
Yes. I mean, creating books is a creative act, and my daughter is highly creative. Like, she just amazes me with the stuff that she comes up with, but it was healing for me because I was always very shy and introverted. Never wanted to share, so, like, doing these podcasts is out of my comfort zone. Writing children's books, self-publishing, and putting it out for the world, a piece of your heart that you create is very vulnerable, and it's, not easy to do. At least it wasn't for me.
Yeah.
But I want to show her a better way, and, it's something fun we can do together, and so it was very healing for my inner child because I was always, like I said, very shy and just kept to myself, and so I wanna try to heal that part of me and also, like, judgment from others and, what is everyone else gonna think about this, and trying to heal that part and show her to have more confidence and be a stronger person. Hopefully, that's my goal anyway.
Awesome. Now you mentioned that your daughter became a major inspiration behind the children's books that you're writing. How did that idea first come to you? Like, how did you decide, like, this is the pathway that we're going to take together? And how did you know that this was something that you were meant to pursue?
Well, a few things. In my spiritual awakening and, like, inner reflection journey, I heard someone say once, "You should look back to finding your purpose." Like, what did you enjoy when you were a little kid that you did just for fun, that you didn't have to have a time frame on, you just did it because you purely enjoyed it, and so in looking back at that art and drawing and making stories, I used to do that all the time when I was little, and then I kinda stopped because life happens and my creativity kinda, I shoved it down, I guess I would say. But so in looking to pursue my purpose in life and involve my daughter, I was like, "I should get back to that. I should get back to what I enjoyed as a kid," and she's highly creative, so another thing, when she was little, I read her 3 books every night from the time she was 2 months old
Mhm.
up until she could read, her own chapter books at, like, 8 years old or 9 years old, then she didn't want me to anymore, but I loved that time with her. I absolutely is I like one of my cherished times is reading her children's books
Yeah.
and snuggling at night and everything, and so I thought, I would love to be able to put something out there for other people to enjoy and spend with their kids, and that was my hope, and so that's kinda how I guess it led me to doing it and healing my inner child, going back to what I enjoy is to trying to find my purpose in life.
That full circle moment. It's like you recognized, I guess, the natural talents and things that your daughter gravitated to and recognize yourself in that from being a child and then kind of go back to that so you all can have those experiences together. Now, you're also a business owner, actually 2 businesses, is that right?
Well, yeah, if you count self-publishing children's books, you kinda have to treat it like a business. So, yeah, essentially, I do have 2.
Awesome. What has it been like to step into entrepreneurship while still navigating, like, your healing journey and motherhood?
Oh gosh. Well, That's a good question. For me, it's just I've never even really thought about that. It's just been what I've had to do and what I know to do. My main job is I work for myself as I'm a nail technician and esthetician, so I'm with clients all day, and that kinda helps me heal too because I'm always hearing people's stories and I'm caring for them, which I'm very nurturing, kind of caring person, so that has helped me. And then working for yourself, you have to have drive, determination. If you don't show up to work, you don't get paid, you know? So, like, it's all on you, and that has helped me have drive too, I guess I would say. Yeah, I think that's just having drive to move forward and see what you have to do and get it done.
Absolutely. I admire the courage and the boldness you have in order to step into entrepreneurship and then obviously thrive in that space to be able to maintain yourself there for a substantial amount of time. For someone
Thank
who
you.
feels pulled towards writing or creativity or just starting something new but doesn't feel qualified, what would you say to them?
Oh gosh, I mean, I still don't feel qualified, and I've written 2 books, but you I guess I got past that, "You're not good enough, what are you doing?" Those inner voices by saying, "Do it because you want to, because you enjoy it, and don't think about, like, the end goal. Just
Hmm.
do it for fun and pure joy and see kinda where that leads you." And that's what my first book started like. I didn't have any plans of writing a book. I didn't have any plans of sharing it with anybody. My daughter, she was 2, and she has a little, like, blanket that she loves and snuggles with, and that the love she had for that little piece of fabric, like, sparked a thought for me to write down some little lines, and they kinda rhymed, and I'm not like a poet by any means, but I was like, "Where is this coming from?" I just felt inspired by her, and so I wrote it down and I drew it out, and then I would share it with her, and I put it away in a drawer, kinda forgot about it, and then we moved, and then I was finding doing the inner work of finding my purpose from when I was a child, what I loved, and I was like, "Maybe I should write a book," and I thought, "Oh, I already kinda did, like, 2 years ago." And so then I found it in the drawer and I was like, "Maybe I should really consider to do this." And
Yeah,
so, I mean, that's sort of just how it started by the inspiration of my daughter's love for her blanket. I mean, so it was really that simple.
I love that. One of the things that's really cool, and I kind of thought about this when you were speaking, really cool about podcasting is you get to speak to so many different people who've accomplished so many things. And what I've noticed is no matter how much someone has accomplished, there's still that imposter syndrome factor that comes into place. And you'll see, and you're thinking, like, I can't believe you have doubt. Like you are nervous or have these negative thoughts. And so I'm glad that you said, like, just do it anyway, because it's kind of, I hope people understand from listening, not only to this episode, but to others and hearing from other people, like it's just doesn't go away. So don't feel like if you have those thoughts that really make you feel unqualified, like it's an anomaly. I think that happens no matter how much you accomplish. So I'm really glad that you laid that out there.
Thank you. I mean, I agree. We're all just humans at the end of the day trying to do our best. And we all have the same kind of thoughts. I mean, some show it more than others, but we all experience like self-doubt and, lower points of confidence at times. So you just have to push through it if you really want something. You just have to push through those and not listen to it.
It reminds me too, like there was a point where I became very intentional about my thought process because your thoughts can really get you to a place of remaining stagnant or not moving forward with things that you could have been great at, but you kind of talk yourself out of it. And I remember reading the verse about take every thought captive and test it to the word of God. And so instead of using that, and it had to be an intentional process for me because, you'll hear the negative thought and just kind of it'll sway you one way or the other, but it's like you take that thought and it's like, "No, what does God say about me?" Or, "You can't do this," or "You're not meant to do that." Take that thought captive and what does God say about me and replace it with that. So, it was a place for me of saying like, "Okay, why are you so quick to believe, lies or doubts from the enemy, but you are not so quick to believe the promises of God." So it's like you have to be intentional with training yourself to do that. And I think that's a battle that we're all working through.
For sure.
So thank you for mentioning that.
Definitely. I mean, I just feel like it's the truth. I am my own worst enemy. I'm like the worst, nobody's tougher on me than I am.
Yeah.
So I definitely agree with you there.
I can relate because I was telling a friend the other day, I was like, I don't remember what the conversation was, but we were having a conversation. And she said something. I was like, I often think a person never has to tell me something to make me feel bad. Let me tell you something. I probably already told myself enough. Like I'm
For
taking
sure.
care of it. Don't ever feel like you have to tell me something to put me in place. So I can definitely relate to that
For
statement.
sure. For sure.
Now, someone's listening today and they're still feeling like they're in survival mode. They're still healing from loss or trauma, trying to put the pieces back together. There's a lot of uncertainty. What would you want them to know? What do you feel like is the thing that you can say to them to help them kinda move on to the next spot?
Well, I mean, I would say that's probably looks different for everybody, but I think something that's kind of universal in that is you can't do it alone. You need to have support. No matter what you're going through that's tough. Like whether it's family, a friend, a counselor, any kind of support. Online platforms like what you're doing, podcasts, where you can reach out and hear others. You get a lot of comfort. At least I did. I had a good support, thankfully. And I know I feel terrible for anyone who doesn't feel like they have support because I think that's important to have people to lean on besides yourself, because it's really tough to when you get down, to just have yourself and your negative thoughts. So you gotta have somebody to lean on.
Absolutely. I think as much as we try to believe or cultural or societal trends or norms will want us to believe like we're an army of one or an island of one, we do need each other. Like we can't accomplish everything on our own. And that's not a sign of weakness or anything. It's like we need a community. We were meant to be in community and pull strength from each other. So we definitely do need each other and need that support system and just people around us to help catch us when we fall, for sure.
Yeah.
Ashley, it's been so good to talk to you. I want to make sure that listeners know how to connect with you. Where can they find you online, learn more about your children's books, and stay connected with what you're creating next?
My website is onemomisheart.com. I'm on Instagram, Facebook. So, yep, those places.
Awesome. And can you tell us the names of your books that you have and where we can find them?
Yeah, so they're on my website or Amazon, but my first book is called Adventures of Snugs. That's the one about my daughter's security blanket. And the second one that she co-wrote and illustrated is called Pirate Chickens Under Attack. And so that one's about our chickens on our farm. And we're creating a third book now about a frog. So that one, that'll be coming out soon. But
A lot of fun. And those titles definitely let us peek into her creativity. So it sounds like a lot of fun. Some cool reads for sure. Friends, if today's episode encouraged you, please share it with another mom, friend, or listener who might need hope today. Now, before we wrap up, Ashley, we always end every episode with the same question. So I want to ask you, what is the best piece of advice you've ever received or a piece of advice you'd give to someone you deeply care about?
I would say stay true to your heart, stay true to yourself. That has always, and be kind to others.
Yeah,
Be kind to others. That has always this never failed me to stay true to my heart and my knowing and who I am so I would say that would be my advice. It's hard to do sometimes when times get dark, but if you just stay true to your heart, always be kind to others, I would say that's the best advice I go by.
absolutely. It's such a good reminder. That was such a good note to end us on because that's an excellent, excellent reminder. Hannah's Hive, thank you so much for listening. Ashley's story is such a reminder that you don't have to be an expert. You don't have to have it all figured out. And healing can lead you to places that you have never expected. I thank you all for listening to this episode of the Hey Hannah podcast. I hope that it has encouraged you and blessed you on today and that you share it with someone else who it can be an encouragement to. Ashley, thanks so much for taking the time to speak with us. And until
Thank you
next,
for having me.
absolutely. Take
Thank
care.
you. You too.
And that's it. I'm out of here.
much for joining us on this episode of the Hey Hannah podcast. We hope that you found inspiration, insight, and encouragement in our conversation today. If you enjoyed this episode and want to stay connected with us, be sure to like, subscribe, and review the Hey Hannah podcast. Your feedback helps us reach more people and spread our message of love and wisdom. You can also follow us on social media at Hey Hannah Podcast. Find us on Facebook, Instagram, and TikTok to stay updated on all the latest episodes, behind-the-scenes exclusives, and engaging content. And for those of you who prefer the visual experience, catch the video versions of our podcast on our YouTube channel. Just search Hey Hannah Podcast and hit that subscribe button to never miss an episode. For even more Hey Hannah goodness, visit our website at www.heyhannahpodcast.com. There you'll find updates, bonus content, and join a community that embraces you with open arms. Your continued support truly means the world to us. Together, let's spread love, share wisdom, and honor every precious moment. Because here at Hey Hannah, we believe that life is meant to be lived well. Remember, a new episode of the Hey Hannah podcast is released every Wednesday, so mark your calendars and be sure to tune in. Thank you again for being a part of Hannah's Hive. Until next time, take care.
Entertainment. Entertainment.